Greetings my diamonds and welcome back to my channel. My name is Xabiso, otherwise known as Miss X, and I speak on all things real estate and self-development. Today I'm going to be speaking about all the related costs to purchasing a home. Are you ready? Do you know them all? Should you be purchasing a home in your current financial situation? Let's get into it. So you might be under the impression that the only thing that you need to pay when purchasing a home is your loan repayments, right? You couldn't be more completely incorrect, right? There are many other costs that go into purchasing a home, and I will be breaking them down in this video. Right, so now you've decided that you want to purchase a home, and the first thing you need to do is to get your pre-approval or pre-qualification done. So any estate agent can help you do this, or you can speak to your banker if you are within the private banking people. So the bank is going to give you what you qualify for, right? Now, I cannot stress this enough. If you qualify for 800,000, it does not mean now you must go take out a loan for 800,000. Now, this is a mistake many people have. So you have your pre-qualification. Now, what I tell my clients to do is to stress test their financial situation, right? I will give them a spreadsheet that has already been, all the calculations are in, right? Where you put all of your income, all of your expenses, and then you stress test it, right? You play around with if scenarios, right? If the interest rate were to increase, when are we going to feel the pinch? What's going to happen to our finances? What are they going to look like? If an emergency situation happens in our finances, what is it going to look like? And what are those contingencies, right? So I give my clients this Excel spreadsheet which they can use to stress test their finances. If they see something is a major risk, I tell them, go discuss this with your financial planner. How can you mitigate against this line item in your spreadsheet, right? I am very meticulous with my clients in terms of where my advice starts and where it ends, right? Once you financially stress test your financial situation, now you have a number, right? At this point, you have a number of what you can afford, right? There's qualification, what you qualify for, and what you can afford, right? So now you've decided that this is the amount that you can afford, and you are looking for your perfect home. So you find your perfect home, right? So now you've submitted an offer to purchase. The first bill that they're going to slap you with is the bill from your attorneys, which includes the transfer cost, the bond cost, the transfer duty, you know. So that is a lot, and it's usually required in cash before the transfer can happen. So this is something that you also need to budget for when purchasing your home. If you've taken out 100% bond, how are you going to pay for your transfer costs? Some people usually take out more than 100% bond, right? Because some financial institutions allow for the financing of these transfer costs, or rather the attorney costs that are involved. So it's the transfer costs, it's the bond costs, it's transfer duty, and these are the upfront costs that are involved in the acquiring of a property. And these can go up. These are quite expensive. This is not like your 2,000 Rand. No. They range from 30, 40, 50,000 Rand, depending on the price of the property that you are buying. The next cost that you will encounter, and this is also a monthly cost, right? Insurance. What insurance are you going to be taking out on your home that you have just bought, right? It needs to be within the budget that you have discussed in that Excel spreadsheet, right? Again, this is another monthly reoccurring cost apart from the monthly loan repayments that you already have to pay for, right? Then number 2, rates and taxes. This is the cost related to owning the home, right? That you have to pay to the municipality, right? So this is the rates and taxes. Again, another monthly reoccurring costs. So unlike your that first big bill that you receive from your attorneys, your transfer bond costs and transfer duty, those can go up to 100,000, right? It depends on the price of the property that you are purchasing, right? It's not a fixed rate. Whereas your insurance is a fixed monthly premium, and as well as your rates and taxes. Your rates and taxes are usually at a set price that you have to pay it every month. Then you get another cost, which is not, okay, this is not mandatory, it depends on what property that you buy. This is your levies. Levies are costs that you pay to the body corporate, and a body corporate will exist if you are buying a property in a complex or an estate. The levies are the costs involved to keep or to upkeep the common areas in the estate, in the complex, right? So those are your levies. Now this is important. Now let's speak about the importance of understanding the levies. When you are buying in an estate, it is important, right, to request the financial statements of the body corporate, right, because of that estate, because you can get to see from, okay, right, or you can, yeah, financial statements usually have the previous year and the current year, right? 1 year, you can see how the levies have increased, what percentage they increase levies by. You can even request 2 years financial statement. So now you have about 3 years to compare it to and see, okay, levies in this complex or in this estate are increased by 5% every year. So this is what we're going to factor in our stress test. Financial statements usually do not have the name of the owner, so they cannot tell you what a Poppy Act business, right? They can tell you that if on the levy statement, right? So when you're buying a property, you need to request that levy statement before you put in an offer to purchase. By the way, you need to request that levy statement. You need to request those financial statement. So the levy statement, some estate agents will tell you, no, it's against the Poppy Act for me to give you the levy statement. You need to tell them they must cover the owner of that property and they must give you that levy statement. That levy statement can show you how much the current levies are, right? And that they're not lying to you. Then, again, with your the financial statements of the body corporate, you can see the annual increase in the levies, and this should be factored in your financial stress test, right? Then we look at your general maintenance, right? We usually say to landlords, they need to keep at least 1% of the value of the property, which is usually 1 month's rental, right, on hand for things that deal with the maintenance of the property. That could be painting, that could be fixing general things like fixing the cupboard, that could be changing the lights, right? Those small things which encourage the good upkeep of a property. Right, now that I have highlighted all the real costs that are involved in maintaining and purchasing a home, ask yourself, are you really ready for that responsibility? Talk to me in the comments, ask any other questions. If you want the financial stress test spreadsheet, drop me a comment on the comment section. And thank you for welcoming me into your space. My name is Rabiso, otherwise known as Miss X. And thank you for listening.